Shalom to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. Peace and blessings on another beautiful Sabbath day. Giving all honor and all glory to Yahweh B'Shem Mashiach Malak Yahushai. A double honor to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting for the second coming of Yahushai. A hearty shalom to all of the mighty men of the Most High who are out on the highways and byways risking their life for the Most High to magnify His name and present their body as a living sacrifice. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there on the highways and byways, but the household is getting built up. They're studying, praying, fasting, being diligent, and abounding in the work of the Lord. And last but not least, shalom to the sisters out there, the sincere sisters out there, the Akwab, reverencing their husbands, being submissive, being diligent, taking care of the household and guiding the affairs of the Most High, and righteousness, you understand, giving all honor and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua.
As we always do, we're going to hop into Acts chapter 18 and verse 4, right?
This.
All praise to the Most High for another Sabbath, man. Another day of repenting, another day of getting yourself in order, another day of keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, right?
This is the book of Acts, chapter 18 and verse 4. And he reasoned in the synagogue every Sabbath and persuaded the Jews and the Greeks.
Right, another Sabbath service to persuade Israel, who knows that they're Israel, to continue in the law, statutes, and commandments, the faith, the brotherly love, all things that are good and pleasant in the sight of the Lord, right? And those who are just finding out that they're Israel, to repent and search the scriptures daily, right? Be as the church of Berea, to see if the words that be spoken to you be true, or if they be lies, right? Right, like the Lord said, right? Let every man be a liar, and the words of God be true. Paraphrase, right? And the only way we can do that is through Philippians 4:13.
Book of Philippians, chapter 4 and verse 13. I can do all things through Hamashiach Yahushai, which strengthen me.
Right, through the spirit of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, we're able to get a good and proper understanding of the scriptures by going precept upon precept, right? Casting down false doctrine, right? Showing how to love your brother and love your sister, right? Through all things, through the spirit of the Lord, we're able to conquer and overcast the demons that we deal with, right? So like we have on the title, it's a Q&A, right? We're going to do it in the class and online, right? The brother Mathamika, he's going to ask the questions. And the brother in the back, Ace, he got the first question.
First question in Judges chapter 14, right? Did Samson go off eating lions and honey? Or what's that parable about? That's a good question.
All right, let's go into it. So the question is, in Judges chapter 14, does Samson go off? Now you say eating lions and honey, right? So let's go into it. Let's go to the book. You got it.
Oh, so like 14 and 8.
14 and 8.
Okay.
Book of Judges, chapter 14 and verse 8. And after a time, he returned to take her, and he turned aside to see the carcass of the lion. And behold, there was a swarm of bees and honey in the carcass of the lion. And he took thereof in his hands and went on eating, and came to his father and mother, and he gave them, and they did eat. But he told not them that he had taken the honey out of the carcass of the lion.
Yeah, so what he did was, I mean, as it is written, he took the honey out, the carcass of the lion, gave it to him, and gave it to his parents. He didn't eat a lion or eat the remains of a lion. He ate the honey that was in the carcass of a lion. Now, when you go, let's go to Sirach, the 11th chapter. All right, let's go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 11, and let's read verse, I believe I want 3 if I'm not mistaken. 11 and 3.
Book of Sirach, chapter 11 and verse 3. The bee is little among such as fly, but her fruit is the chief of sweet things.
See that? So the bees amongst the littlest creatures that fly, but they have the best fruit.
That's right.
Right? That's how the Most High created it, man. You don't have no big ginormous thing making honey. Right? The Lord has what? The bee to be able to make the honey. Honey is lawful to eat. Although you can't eat a bee, you can eat the honey. Right? The honey isn't a living creature. Right? So you got to follow up quick. Now, let me back on that. Samson used that as a riddle. That's the second part of your question? Yeah. All right, go ahead. All right, let's go into it. All right, let's go to Judges. All right, chapter. Let's see. The same chapter. 14 and Oh yeah. 14 and 12.
Book of Judges, chapter 14, verse 12.
Start at 10.
Verse 10. So his father went down unto the woman, and Samson made there a feast, for so used the young men to do.
Right?
And it came to pass, when they saw him, that they brought 30 companions to be with him.
Right?
And Samson said unto them, I will now put forth a riddle.
They put riddles at parties, man, at feast days. It wasn't no twerking going on. It wasn't no taking shots of Hennessy, right? Non-stop till you drunk. And then you pass out and wake up the next morning. Hey, they did things in wisdom, huh? Wasn't nobody doing coke in the bathroom. Somebody snuck up to the bedroom, right? Everything was done in order. Go on.
If ye can certainly declare it, meet within the 7 days of the feast, and find it out, then I will give you 30 sheets and 30 change of garments.
Right?
But if ye not declare it, me, then shall ye give me 30 sheets and 30 change of garments. And they said unto him, Put forth thy riddle, that we may hear it.
Right? Put forth the riddle that we may hear it.
And he said unto them, Out of the eater came forth meat, and out of the strong came forth sweetness, and they could not in 3 days expound the riddle.
So he's saying the same thing twice. Out of the eater, which is the lion, came forth meat. Right? Not saying that he ate meat, but meat is referred to as anything, like even in Genesis 1 and 29. The Lord says, I have given you every herb-bearing seed, unto you it shall be for meat. So it's not as if Samson was eating the carcasses of a lion. He ate the honey. I'll tell you that in the previous verses. So he's saying out of the eater, meaning the lion, came forth meat. And out of the strong, which is the same thing, the eater and the strong are the same people, which is the lion. And out of the strong, what came forth sweetness. And they could not in 3 days expound the riddle. So he's just saying the same thing. He wants them to explain the riddle that he had. Right? Which is the receiving the honey out of the carcass of the lion. Kind of gut. Yeah, it's not, you don't want to get too deep with that. You don't want to get too deep with that. You got something else?
Live.
All right. Next question.
First question at 1:18 p.m. from Servant of the Most High. Where in the law does it say I have to love my wife?
Where in the law does it say I have to love my wife? Right? Well, I think he want the law. You want to get the law first?
Yeah.
All right, let's get the law first. Right? Where in the law? And let me say, not saying this to brothers' MO, but brothers got to stop saying, show me the law, I got to do A, B, and C. The whole Bible is the law, man. That's absolute madness, man. Yeah, man, well, so show me the law, so and so. This whole thing is the word of God, right? It's not just the first 5 books that's the word of the Most High, right? Joshua's part of the Most High. The Feast of Dedication being implemented, that's part of the Most High. That's like saying, show me the law, I got to keep pure. You have things that are going to be added in time because this book is living. Look at Leviticus 19 and 17. Right? You got that, Jonah?
Oh, yeah,
Leviticus 19 and 17. That's the fundamental classic precept. Right? You're commanded to love your neighbor as you love yourself. Right?
Book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart.
It's not just talking about your biological brother on your father's side. But you can hate your cousin, and you can hate your niece, and you can... No, that's not what it's talking about.
Right.
Your brother represents anybody of your nation.
That's right.
And your kindred. Right, hold that real quick. Go to Jeremiah 34 and 14 to prove that. Yeah, that's what I want. Jeremiah 34 and 14.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 34 and what, 18?
No, that's not what I want. I want, that's all right. It's lucky. I'll have to find it, but it speaks about every man, his brother is a Jew. Right? You can read 34 and 14, though.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 34 and verse 14. At the end of 7 years, let ye go every man his brother a Hebrew.
A what?
A Hebrew.
Who is your brother?
A Hebrew.
So your brother is fellow. That's right. Your brother are fellow Hebrew Israelites.
That's right.
Right? It's not just saying your biological brother on your father's side. Brothers that take that verse too literal and they start beating up their woman. And the woman says, "You can't hate me," and he says, "No, that's not what that's talking about. I just can't hate my brother." Right? No, hey, your wife. You understand? As counted within that, because she's a Hebrew, just like you're a Hebrew.
Right.
Your son, your father, right? Anybody of your nation, guess what? You cannot hate them. So in the law, you're commanded to love your brother, and the prophecies are expounded upon the law. You understand? So
Go to Baruch 4:1. We always go to this, man.
Right?
The first 5 books is not just the law, man. The whole Bible is the law, man.
That's right.
Right, Baruch 4:1. And you gotta remember, right, every law doesn't always say exactly how you want it to be said.
Right.
You're not gonna say, "Thou shalt love thy wife," right? But it tells you that through the precepts, right?
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4 and verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of Yahweh, and the law that endureth forever.
Right. So the whole Bible, including the Apocrypha, is the book of the law. Right. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 5. Right. Go to Ephesians 5 and 25. Let's start at 23. Let's go to Ephesians 5.
5:25.
5 and 23.
This is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 23. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Yahushua is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body.
Right, so the head of the whole household is the husband, right? And the head is not gonna hate the body, right? The head is working with the body to make sure it's moving and functioning the way that it should, right? Keep going, King.
Verse 24. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Yahushua, so let the wives be to their own husbands in
Right.
everything. Verse 25. Husbands, love your wives, even as Hamashiach also loved the church and gave himself for it.
Right, so you have to love your wife, right? The way that Yahushua gave his body to be that living sacrifice for the whole nation of Israel is how a man should love his wife, right? That's a perfect example of how a union amongst husband and wife should be. Right, let's go to Sirach 25 and 1. Oh, so like, you got it.
Yeah, real quick, let's go to Deuteronomy 24 and verse 5. All right, this link up with the brothers going into Deuteronomy 24 and 5.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24 and verse 5. When a man have taken a new wife, he shall not go out to war, neither shall he be charged with any business, but he shall be free at home 1 year, and shall clear up his wife.
Oh, no. That shall what?
And shall cheer up his wife.
No, he gotta hate his wife.
Shall cheer up his wife.
No, beat her up.
Shall cheer up his wife,
right?
Which he hath taken.
Hey, cheer up your wife. You look that word up in the Hebrew. It means to rejoice, to make your wife glad, to please her, man.
That's right.
On every level, right? You have no business for 1 year. Imagine that, man. You take a new wife and your so-called boss say, "Look, you're off for the year. Don't worry about it." Right? You can't even get a so-called paternity leave and these damn jobs, man. Right? You get 1 day off and hurry up. Right? And he better not be a little nigger boy. Right? And they don't say that, man. And then you gotta show up to work. Let me see a picture. Prove that your son was born. We need his birth certificate and we need his records.
So you gotta get doctor's notes.
Yeah, you need doctor's notes and all that, man. You didn't need a doctor note in the ancient world, man. Somebody got married, he want to see the ring, he want to see the marriage certificate, he want to see where you went on the honeymoon, and then you might get 2 days paid. You might. Or you might deduct from your check, double fold. Because he can do that. But in the ancient world, guess what? You get a new wife, you're charged with no business for an entire year to cheer up your wife. Right? That doesn't mean play Scrabble with her. Right? Brothers understand. You're not playing Yahtzee with your wife. Right?
Right. So like before we go to Sirach, go to 1 Peter 3 and you can go to verse 7. Right? Verse 7. Right, so yes, it's the law that you have to love your wife, man. Right, and that's not a bad question because Israel may need to know this, man.
Yeah.
People deal with you got the sticky marriage situations.
Right.
Certain situations make you not want to be around people. Right, but that doesn't mean that you can hate anybody, man.
That's right.
Right, I may be around this brother too much. Like, all right, brother, I'm gonna have to make moves, man, because we're gonna start arguing or something. Right?
Go ahead. This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 3. So I get 3
and 7.
3 and 7. And verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers be not hindered.
Right? So a lot of Israelite men tend to forget that before she's your wife, she's a daughter of Zion.
That's right.
Right? That's the most highest precious treasure right there, man. Right? The Lord gave you a gift. Right? The Lord found favor in you and gave you that woman. Right? So you got to give her honor, man. Don't be beat. What the brother say? Crushing her sides.
Yeah, go to her professional boxer. He crushed his ribs left side because they keep getting into tussles. So after the final tussle, she got back up staggering. She was trying to get into it with him. He said, I just crushed your left side. Why don't you sit down sometimes?
You know what I'm saying? So you have to give honor to your wife. Giving honor to somebody is showing love, man. Right? You got to honor your father and your mother. That means you love them. You respect them. You do as they say. By honoring your wife, you teach her. You be the head. You lead her. Right? You be that example of how an Israelite man is supposed to be. So now you're not complaining, oh, my wife is a nigga woman and she's wicked. Well, if you being that example, that's showing her love. Right? Like how we're going out and teaching on the highways and byways, that's showing Israel love. Right? It goes hand in hand. How we got to present the church unspotted and glorious for Yahushua. The same way you got to present yourself to your wife so your wife can present herself to be glorious and unspotted as well. If that makes sense.
Bring it up.
Genesis chapter 2 and verse 24. It says, therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh.
See that?
Right? And the Most High wants you to follow the law. Love yourself under the commandments. So if that's part of your flesh, you're going to have to teach her the commandments in love.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Precept.
Bring it up.
Proverbs 18, verse 22.
Bring it out.
Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtain favor of the Lord.
Huh? You want to go into it? You want to break it down?
Oh, I think it's plain upon tables that you find a good wife in favor.
That's right. That's
You
right.
came up.
You came. Yeah, you
came
get
up.
favor with the Lord.
Right.
That's right. You got precept?
Sirach 26, 1 through 3, or we can just go to 26 and 3. A good wife is a good portion, which shall be given in the portion of them that fear the Lord.
There you go, man.
Come.
Hey, the Lord said in Sirach 36 and 24, he that getteth the wife, getteth the possession. I hope like unto himself in the pillar of rest. You'll be a fool to break down the pillars in the building. Right? You'll be a damn fool, man. I hate this building. But you won't break the pillars down. You might, but you're not going to break the pillars down. You'll destroy yourself.
Come.
Next question. So let's get the next question. Brothers, love your wives. Stop kicking the door down saying, shut up. Right? You're just a woman. And I'm man. Right? Man should have dominion over women. Right? You know how it goes. Then you kicking your woman in the butt. Right? And she's all on Instagram. What do I do? Right? What do I do about my husband? He's doing so and so to me. Now she start reaching out to other men. And other men say, look, baby, you don't have to handle that no more. Right? Why don't you join us? Right? You think so? Right? Yeah. Right? Then she leaves you, man. And all hell break loose. Yeah, that nasty, man. Right? Go on, you got it.
Shoulder to cry on.
Yeah, shoulder to cry on. Right? And then you'll be destroyed ultimately. You'll be put to death.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 25, and verse 1. In 3 things I was beautified and stood up beautiful, both before Yahweh and men, the unity of brethren, the love of neighbors, a man and a wife that agreed together.
Right, that's beautiful in the sight of the Lord. A man and a wife that agree together, man. Right, you have to love somebody, you have to agree on certain terms. Right? On everything pretty much, man. Right? Especially if you have children, they should grow up knowing the law, statutes, and commandments. They should keep the law, statutes, and commandments. right? That's the basis of every marriage, right? The love for the Most High. Anything outside of that is gonna fall,
That's right.
right? So yeah, we can go to the next question now. Okay?
Next question at 1:19 p.m. from your car, hopefully lit. He said, could offerings be done in the Levitical suburbs or only inside the temple?
Could offerings be done in the Levitical suburbs or only in the temple?
It's a two-part question.
Okay. It's another part to it?
Yeah.
What's another part?
Then question mark. Then it says, 1 Kings 3:3. Did Solomon offer up sacrifices? 1 Kings 3:3 and 1 Chronicles 21:26.
All right, so let's go to the book of Numbers 18 and 21. Right? Numbers chapter 18 and 21. Let's deal with it.
Book of Numbers, chapter 18 and verse 21. And behold, I have given the children of Levi all the tenth, and behold, I have given the children of Levi all the tenth in Israel for an inheritance, for their service, which they serve, even the service of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Right? So remember, when you go into the law and you read the book of Joshua after Deuteronomy, you'll find out that each tribe received a particular portion. Brothers know about that? God, everybody knows that each tribe received a portion except who? Except Levi.
Levi,
What's Levi's portion?
the Most High.
The Most High and the sacrifices that came with it. Right? So they received a tenth of every Israelite. Whether you have fruit, cattle, wine, oxen, corn, you're going to receive 10% of every brother. So they lived good.
Right.
They lived good.
Uh-huh.
If you have a nation that's the sand of the sea, which can't be measured or numbered, and you receive 10% of infinity, you're going to receive about infinity, man. Right? Let's go to let's get the cities that they had in Joshua 13 and 14. Yeah, that's what I want. Joshua 13 and 14. So brothers know about the cities that they had when you're going through the precepts.
This is the book of Joshua.
Okay, this is not what I want, but we'll read this anyway.
Okay.
You can read it anyway.
13 and 14.
Come on, then I'm going to get another
Book of
precept.
Joshua, chapter 13 and verse 14.
Right?
Only unto the tribe of Levi he gave none inheritance. The sacrifices of the Lord Yahweh of Israel made by fire are their inheritance, as he said unto them.
That's part of the sacrifices, right? I mean, part of the inheritance, doing the sacrifices. Now, I want Joshua, that's what I want, Joshua 21 and 40. Joshua 21 and 40. So within these suburbs, they receive 10%. But 3 times a year, you have to go to Jerusalem with also your increase. And guess what? Give it to the priests, right? That's the Feast of Unleavened Bread. What else?
The Feast of First Fruits?
Yeah, or so-called Pentecost and Feast of Tabernacles. Those are your 3 times pursuant to Deuteronomy 16 and 16. Every Israelite man was commanded to go to Jerusalem and couldn't show up empty-handed. He had to come with the increase. So let's get these cities that they had, that they dwelt in the suburbs, where they lived off of the increase given to them by the Israelites.
This is the book of Joshua, chapter 21 and verse 40. So all the cities for the children of Merari by their families, which were remaining of the families of the Levites, were by their lot 12 cities.
Right?
All the cities of the Levites,
the cities of the Levites,
within the possession of the children of Israel, were 48 cities with their suburbs.
right?
These cities were every one with their suburbs round about them. Thus were all these cities.
So they had these cities. They had how many? 48 cities, all throughout the land of Israel. And you had 6 cities of refuge as well, right? 3 on this side of Jordan, 3 on the other side of Jordan. So the priests that lived in these 48 cities throughout the land of Israel, they received 10% of the increase, which is a tithe. It's not a 10% of your check or your social security income or whatever the case may be. It's not hardcore cash. It's crops, vegetation, fruits, wine, oils. One more, Deuteronomy 14 and 22. You about to get that? Deuteronomy 14 and 22. Right, one more on the top.
Deuteronomy chapter 14 and verse 22. Thou shalt truly tithe all the increase of thy seed, that the field bringeth forth year by year.
Right, that the field bringeth forth year by year, not Wells Fargo. Right? that the field brings forth. That's what you tithe. Not the Bank of America, not the IMF, and the Federal Reserve.
That's right.
Go on.
And thou shalt eat before the Lord thy God in the place which he shall choose.
What place did the Most High choose?
Zion.
Zion, Jerusalem, right? Go on.
Salakia. To place his name there, the tithe of thy corn, of thy wine, and thine oil, and the firstlings of thy herds, and of thy flocks, that thou mayest learn to fear the Lord thy God always.
See that?
And, keep on.
Come.
And if the way be too long for thee, so that thou art not able to carry it, or if the place be too far from thee, which the Lord thy God shall choose to set his name there, when the Lord thy God hath blessed thee, then shalt thou turn it into money, and bind up the money in thine hand, and shall go unto the place which the Lord thy God shall choose.
Yeah, you might have been from the land of Dan up north, or Asher, Naphtali, on the other side of the river, to half a tribe of Manasseh or Gad or Reuben, and traveling to Jerusalem might be too far. Right? You know, Job had a lot of wealth, right? A lot of cattle, a lot of crops, a lot of land. Imagine taking 10% of all of that from the other side of the Jordan River and then coming back to Jerusalem. That's too much sometimes.
Yeah.
So what you'll do is you'll turn that into money, right? And the wealth that you have in your money and your talents or your gears or however currency you have, you're going to use that. So when you go to Jerusalem, you buy what you had in your land and you exchange it, and then you give that to the priest, right? Go on.
And thou shalt bestow that. I read 25.
26.
26. Okay. And verse 26. Thou shalt bestow that money for whatsoever thy soul lusteth after, for oxen, or for sheep, or for wine, or for strong drink,
even strong drink,
or for whatsoever thy soul desireth, and thou shalt eat there before the Lord thy God, and thou shalt rejoice, thou and thine household.
Go on.
And the Levite that is within thy gates.
That's within the gates.
Thou shalt not forsake him, for he hath no part nor inheritance with thee.
Now we're going to show you about this tithe that you give to the Levite. Go on.
At the end of 3 years, thou shalt bring forth all the tithe of thine increase the same year, and shall lay it up within thy gates.
So you lay it up within your gates every 3 years, right? This is a different type of tithe, right? Go on.
And the Levite, because he have no part nor inheritance with thee, and the stranger,
even a stranger,
and the fatherless,
and
the widow, which are within thy gates, shall come and shall eat and be satisfied, that the Lord thy God may bless thee in all the work of thine hand which thou doest.
If you don't do that, the Lord is not going to bless your hands, right? You may say, I don't want to give my tithes this year, right? Then next year your crops never grow. You wonder what happened. You didn't love your brother. You didn't serve the Most High.
That's right.
You understand? You didn't keep the commandments.
So that's kind of like saying, you know, even though we gave to the Most High for the 3 years or whatever, you know, every 3 years we go and do what we do. Then after that, the same year, you got to give for people like less fortunate.
Right.
You know.
Right, so they can be taken care of. Right, welfare, if you can understand.
I have a question.
All right, next question from Athanika.
My question is, what are some of the best things to do when you're not in the spirit during your work week?
What are some of the best things to do when you're not in the spirit within your work week? Right? Yeah, precept. I got one.
No, you get it. I'm about to-
Con, let's go to the book of Colossians, chapter 4. Right? When you're not in the spirit, right? First, let's go to Luke 21 and 34. Let me get that first. Right? Because, you know, dealing with the world, they get you out the spirit, man. Esau might have you work. You might be around demons. A demon might hop on you. You might work 55 hours in 1 week. You might work 70 hours in a week, man. Right? You have no time to read. You barely got time to study. All you do is go to work, you go to sleep. You might have a long distance trip to drive. I know certain brothers, they commute hours, man. Hour and a half to get to work. An hour and a half, that's 3 hours. And you got a 10-hour shift. right? That's 13 hours. You got to go to sleep. Let's say you go to sleep for 7 hours. That's 19. You might eat for an hour, take a shower. You might have, you come in, you get ready. You might have 45 minutes to do what you got to do, right? You better make the most of it. You better not slack around.
That's right.
Because you're already tired.
That's right.
Your back hurt. You sleepy from driving, right? And you got 45 minutes to get it done. You might have a wife and a son and kids, you know what I'm saying, and children, but you might not be able to spend too much time with them that day because you got to get it in with the word.
That's right.
Right? But let's read that.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 34. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that they come upon you unawares.
So brothers got to take heed, man, because the world will seduce you, man. They'll make you feel as though you're too into the world, right? And it'll take you away from the Most High. Anytime you find yourself getting too deep into the world, you're spending a lot of time at work, you barely got time to read, you barely got time to study, that's a spirit. It's not of the Most High.
That's right.
That's of man, right? Now, we understand you got to work and provide for your household, but you have to be willing to analyze the situation and say, is this becoming my God now? Am I no longer reading? I'm always out the spirit. Brother, you might want to look for another so-called job. You might want to see if you can get different hours, right? You might want to do A, B, and C. We know we're in this captivity, but you can't be a closed mouth, damn, a simple man, right? You gotta make moves, man. You gotta make things happen, right? You gotta invest. This truth is about investment too, and the Lord gives you liberty, right? You can read about that in Ecclesiastes. Let me get a precept real quick. At Ecclesiastes 11, right? Let me get this in Ecclesiastes chapter 11 and verse 5. I'll start at 4. Ecclesiastes. So the Lord said, take heed lest your heart be charged over surfeiting. Surfeiting is doing things in excess, right? And the cares of this life will take over you, man. Bills, rent, car notes, insurance. And you get too deep into it sometimes. Then you got to say, damn, I haven't read it. Damn, I'm really not praying like I should be praying. I'm not studying like I should. Ecclesiastes 11 and 5. I'm not studying like I should. The Lord said, take heed. Meaning every day you got to check yourself and see if you too into the world, and are you serving that world, or are you serving the Most High?
That's right.
A lot of brothers, you end up becoming a friend of the world.
That's right.
And then you get sifted out and become the enemy of God. So you want to find that just balance, but always make sure that your life revolves around this truth.
That's right.
And not the wait, am I saying that right? Yeah, I'm saying that right. Right? A lot of brothers, you make the truth fit into your life instead of making the truth your life.
Okay.
That's what I want to say. So let's read that Ecclesiastes 11 and 5. 11 and 4.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 11 and verse 4. He that observeth the wind shall not sow, and he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap.
If you, meaning what? If you're always worried about what ifs, right? You're never going to get nothing done.
That's good.
Right? You can't be like, I don't know if we should go to camping. Look at those clouds. It might not rain. Well, then again, it might. Let's just stay in. Then a whole day passes 85 degrees. Damn, we should have went out. Brother, you just go out and see what happened, man.
That's right.
Hey, brother, fill out that application, brother. You never know, man. They might talk to your boss, man. He might say, yeah, we got an opening, right? Yeah, you've been here for a long time. You're a good worker. You get priority on the shift change. Here you go. We'll get you to that morning shift, man. And we'll cut your hours, man. Don't be afraid to speak up, man. Right? You have to invest in your life in this truth. You understand? You can't just sit around and be a robot for the so-called white man. Right? The Lord, read that again, Ecclesiastes 11 and 4.
He that observeth the wind shall not sow.
You'll never be able to get an increase if you're too worried about the wind. Go on.
And he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap.
Go on.
As thou knowest not what is the way of the spirit, nor how the bones do grow in the womb of her that is with child. Even so, thou knowest not the works of Yahweh who maketh all.
Hey, the most I can do what he want to do. Go on.
In the morning, sow thy seed.
What the Lord say?
In the morning, sow thy seed.
In the morning, sow your seed. Right? And there's been times I've had to I'm like, man, I don't know, man. I really don't have the hours like that, man. But I got to take off. I had to do that last week, man.
Right.
Or this past week. I had to get some stuff done, but I wasn't really, they had me slammed at work, man. So I wasn't able to read or really get into it and like I was. So I said, hey, look, man, I'm just, hey, look, I'm not coming in today.
Right.
Now, I may not have had the hours or nothing, but they ain't say nothing about it. They kind of say, yeah, just take off, go ahead, everything be all right.
Right.
But you never know unless you say something, huh? So I had that whole day to get things done. I had to get things done for the household, and I had a perfect opportunity to get a lot of reading in, a lot of studying in. But you never know if you don't try,
Right.
right? Read that. You got something?
Go.
Let me finish this verse one more time. 11 and 6.
In the morning sow thy seed,
Right?
and in the evening withhold not thine hand.
Right?
For thou knowest not whether shall prosper either this or that, or whether they both shall be alike good.
See that? You never know if it's going to prosper or not. It might not prosper, but guess what? At least you tried. He might say no, right? But at least you tried, man. Or he might say, yeah, it might prosper. Right? So if you're filling out the spirit, one on a carnal level, see if you can get your shift hours changed or talk to your so-called boss or you look for another job. The Most High can open up anything for you. And on the spiritual level, you should fast, you pray, you understand, you seek counsel, you take heed to your spirit.
I got to precept I wanted to bring.
Somebody, I got you. That goes into, we said this a couple weeks ago. You're going to miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Right.
Right? So you got to go out on a limb. You got to act in faith. Right? You can't just sit there and be like, well, if it happens, it happens. No. Give me, can I get James 5 and 13? Whenever you feel low in the spirit, this is what you're supposed to do. Like, this should be the first thing you do whenever you feel like you're overwhelmed, you're swamped with work. Right? James 5 and 13. Because everybody goes through this, man.
Right.
If you got your own business, you go through it. If you work for the so-called white man, you go through it. Man, you might get overwhelmed if you have kids. You know, I just need a break. This is the first thing you got to do.
This is the book of James, chapter 5 and verse 13.
Right?
Is any among you afflicted?
You afflicted in the mind, man. You conflicted. You like, man, I'm about to just quit this job, man. If Esau say one more thing to me, I'm going to throw this table at him. Everybody go through that, man. Everybody think about that, man. You get afflicted all the time in your mind. What you supposed to do?
Let him pray.
Do what?
Let him pray.
That's first and foremost, man. You're supposed to throw up prayers. Ask the Lord to remove that spirit from you. Right? Because that spirit's going to keep festering and another spirit going to hop on you. Another spirit going to hop on you. Next thing you know, you plagued with spirits, man. So the first thing you do is pray. Let me get 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 11. God. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 11, man. And the second thing you do is you comfort yourselves one amongst another, man. Right? If you're going through something, don't hold it in. Don't say, well, you didn't know what I was going through. Well, damn right I didn't know. You didn't tell me. You got to convey to brothers what's happening. You got to convey to sisters what's happening. So they can give you precepts, they can give you counsel, they can exhort you so you're not walking around feeling all down and out, ready to hang yourself in the bathroom. Right? Yeah, that's man. At work, that's how it gets sometimes, man.
Hey, it's like
5 and 11.
They show you that in that movie, that series. I think it was Us or Them. And then Jake, he went into the bathroom. He was catching hell from Esau. And he was in the bathroom clenching his fist and his damn hands was bleeding, man. Catching hell going through it.
So like, and he had a spirit that was around him.
Yeah.
He was like, we're going to kill him, boss?
Right.
Right? He had the Sambu face.
Yep.
He said, we're going to kill him, right? He was dancing, chewing on the, what was he? He was chewing on glass?
Something
His
like
mouth
that.
was bleeding?
Yeah.
Right? That's how the spirits are, man. The spirit that come into your head and say something wild.
Right.
Run into his car when he's not looking. Like, what?
And you going to jail.
Then you go into jail, man. So you gotta reach out and you gotta talk to brothers, man. Right?
It's the book of First Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 11. Wherefore, comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do.
Right, so you gotta comfort one another, man. And you gotta be that brother that can read spirits, man. You gotta know when a brother going through something. Right? Like, brother, you haven't been yourself, man. Is everything all right? Right? You gotta comfort one another, man. Maybe he might tell you that he going through something that he can't tell the next man. Right? So when you see your brother down, you gotta exhort him and comfort him. And you gotta be that brother who's open to be counseled, man. You gotta wear your emotions on your sleeve sometimes around your brother, man. Right?
More.
Go.
Verse 12. And we beseech you, brethren, to know them which labor among you and are over you in the Lord, and admonish you.
Right, you got to beseech them, right? Because we all labor for the Lord. We was out there, it was cold as I don't know what.
That's right.
Right? And you got to admonish them and warn them, man, of the things that, man, holding on to them spirits is going to bring nothing but plagues and demons more around you. So you got to warn them brothers, man.
That's right.
Right? And then for the brothers who see brothers being down, let me get Galatians 6:1. Focus up. Right? It's a counterbalance, man. You got to reach out if you're going through something, and then you got to help the brother who is going through something, man. Because his work life is stressful, man. Right? We saw our parents working. We was like, dang, man, it ain't that bad. Then you get out there and you start working, and you like, why did I grow up so fast?
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 6 and verse 1.
Right?
Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such an one.
Right? So sometimes another brother may be more in the spirit than you. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Right? That brother's sole purpose is to restore you back to such as you were before. Right? The Lord will set somebody on fire just to bring you back on fire. Right? He might fizzle out, and then you get back on fire, and you set him back on fire. Right? Like when we was lighting them logs at Feast of Tabernacles. Right? A brother would bring a whole nother log that was on fire. Boom, the fire would explode. Then we start to fizzle out. Then the next one comes. Right? That's the sole purpose. Right? To exhort your brother to be back as one. So you got to let brothers know when you're going through stuff, man.
Romans 15:1 link with that.
Come.
Right, quick precept. So yeah, if you're dealing with, you can also go on a fast too, man. And never be afraid to use that that sick day, man. Stop saving that sick day for Christmas and Thanksgiving, man.
God.
You just holding on to it in your back pocket. You about to fall out the truth. You holding on to them 9 hours you got for Christmas. The Lord is not dealing with that, man. Take them 8-9 hours, recuperate, get your spirit right, go on the fast, get them spirits off of you, and then you come back in your damn right mind.
So like so some jobs, you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Come. Romans 15:1.
Book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 1. We then that are strong are to bear the infirmities of the weak,
There you
and
go.
not to please ourselves.
See that? That's plain, right? If you strong, your job is to bear it, right? I mean, to put on your back the infirmities and the pain of another brother, whether that's physical or mental. You got to bear that, man. We're not here to please ourselves, right? We're not just studying and doing this for ourselves, right? We do this for the edification of the body, right? So we can move on to the next question.
All right, next question. Right at 1:19 p.m. from Akwab Yasha'Allah. Right, it says, when casting lots for guidance of the Most High, do you flip a coin, spin a wheel, or would that be tempting of the Most High? What would be an example of tempting him?
All right, well, that's a 3-part question, or 2-part question. Well, I want to address the part of tempting the Most High first.
Okay.
Right? Let's go to Deuteronomy 6 and 16. Let's get it out the law. What does it mean, tempt the Most High? Right? Deuteronomy 6 and 16. I got
Book of
another
Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 16. Ye shall not tempt the Lord thy God as ye tempted him in Massah.
Right, read that again, Baba Kasha.
Ye shall not tempt the Lord thy God as ye tempted him in Massah.
So, tempting the Most High. Let's go to, let's see, bear with me. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 8. Right? Let's go to Isaiah. Actually, I want 7 and 10. Let's get an example of tempting the Most High.
Book of Isaiah.
Isaiah 7 and 10. So you don't want to tempt the Lord, and we're about to break down. Basically, it means you don't want to provoke the Lord by trying Him. Right? That's what it means to tempt the Most High. Right?
Book of Isaiah, chapter 7 and verse 10. Moreover, the Lord spake again unto Ahaz, saying, ask thee a sign of the Lord thy God. Ask it either in the depth or in the height above.
So one way of tempting the Most High is you always asking for signs. Right? Lord, please, Lord, just show me something, Lord. Show me a chariot right now. I bet you can't show me a chariot. If you show me a chariot, then I'll know that you're here. That's tempting the Most High. Right? Then the chariot come and destroy you. There I go. Right? You up in the spirit world. You became a fool, man. Right? Lord, please, please, can I just get $20,000 right now, Lord? Lord, please, please, please just open my bank account, Lord. Please show me that you're here and flood my bank account with $20,000. That's tempting the Lord. Right? Go on.
But Ahaz said, I will not ask, neither will I tempt the Lord.
Neither will I what?
Tempt the Lord.
So you don't want to be the brother that's always asking for signs. You're supposed to have faith in the Most High.
That's right.
Right? And believe and have hope. You can't be the brother asking for signs all the time. Right? You can't be the brother sitting there, well, Lord, please show me any clips right now. If you show me any clips, then I'll follow you. Right?
Another way of tempting the Lord is going against the order that the Lord set up. Right? Let's go to Numbers chapter 16, and we can start at verse, I want to say 23. Start at verse 23. I want to start at the exact point. Start at verse 19. Start at 19.
23:19.
Gone. So this is the order. This is when Korah, Dathan, and what's the other dude named? Agrium went against Moses and Aaron, saying, we're all saints, we're all holy unto the Lord. Why should you be in charge? Right?
This is the book of Numbers, chapter Leviticus.
Numbers chapter 16.
I got it, 16 and 23.
Can you start at 19?
I got you, King. This is Numbers chapter 16 and 19. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Right.
And the glory of the Lord appeared unto all the congregation.
Right. So they was going to overthrow Aaron and Moses pretty much. Right. And then the glory of the Lord showed. Right. It could have been a chariot. Right. There's no telling what could have happened. Right.
And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. And they fell upon their faces and said, O God, the God of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation? And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the congregation, saying, get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram.
Right, so the Lord is warning them. Look, you better tell these men, get away from these people. Right? They tempted me to the point now that they got to catch my wrath. Right? Like tempting the Lord to be like, what they say in the world, when you get drunk, they be like, Jesus grabbed the wheel. Right? That's like tempting the Lord right there. That is tempting the Lord. Right? Right? This is the same form of doing it. Right?
Numbers 16 and 25. And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him.
And Moses was so meek, he even went and said, look, man, y'all got to stop this. Right?
And he spake unto the congregation, saying, depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in all their sins.
Right.
And they gat up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan and Abiram, on every side. And Dathan and Abiram came out, and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives, and their sons, and their little children. And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Lord hath sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of my own mind.
Come.
Read on.
Come.
If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Lord hath not sent me. But if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth, and swallow them up, with all that appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord.
Then you'll understand that these men tempted the Lord to catch the death and the judgment that they was meant to catch. Right? Speaking against the order and the dignities that the Lord set up. Right? He set it up so that Aaron and Moses would be like the messenger and the prophet. Right? That's exactly how it was supposed to be set up. Now, what happened to these men?
So I can read on. Numbers chapter 16 and verse 31. And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder that was under them, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that appertain unto Korah, and all their goods.
So the Lord opened, it was a huge sinkhole, what they would call it in this day and age. Right? Him, their houses, their whole family just fell. Ain't no telling how far that sinkhole was, man. And it tells you later on they fell in alive, right? So they was probably down there like, man, what the hell just happened? Right, we might as well read it.
Then, and Slakia, they and all that appertained to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation.
Imagine you in the bottom of the earth, like, man, how we gonna get up out of here? Then it just closed back up on you, man. Well, ain't no coming back from that, man. Well, it could have been concrete. Ain't no telling what it could have been. It could have been stone and gravel. Right? They could have broke their legs. They could have been injured. Right? That's what happens when you tempt the Lord. Like the brother was saying, you asking too many questions. You doubting the Lord's power. You doubting with faith. Right? You tempting the Lord right there.
Let's go to Matthew 4 and 5. Let's get another precept. Never be the brother tempting the Lord. Right? I don't really know up in Israelite. Lord, please, Lord, wake up. Show me my genealogy. Give me my genealogy from Adam's side to me now. And surely I'll believe you. That's going off, man. All right? Let's get that Matthew 4 and 5.
4 and 5.
Come on.
Book of Matthew chapter 4 and verse 5. Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city, and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple, and saith unto him, If thou be the Son of Yahweh, cast thyself down. For it is written, He shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone.
Go on.
Yahushua said unto him, It is written again, Thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God.
So tempting the Lord is going to play in traffic, saying, I'm an Israelite. I keep the commandments. Nothing can happen to me. I got angels around me. Let me go play in traffic. And you tempting the Lord, man. Right?
Okay.
This damn car is going 100 miles per hour. I know I got angels around me. Lord, you got me, right? It's written. You got me, right? Then you go jump in damn traffic, man. And the Lord said, what the hell? You tempting the Lord, then you get smashed up by a car. Come on, you got me, right? Hey, watch what I'm about to do. And then you jump off a damn building like an Edomite. Hey, these Edomites be tempting the Lord, man.
Skydiving.
Yeah, they be skydiving. I watch these Edomites, they be climbing up with the damn GoPro, and they be hanging off the cliff. They kind of put, they get up, they get their rocks off on that, man. They be hanging the damn their fingers off the damn cliff, man. And the cliff be like 300 feet in the air. And they just hang off. And you see that? And their feet be dangling. They put the camera on their feet. Then they kind of climb back up. Right? That's tempting the Lord, man.
They be playing Russian roulette.
Yeah, Russian roulette is tempting the Lord, man. Right? You sitting up there being a damn Edomite, man.
So
Right.
like it was on Malcolm X. I don't know if y'all remember that. He was playing Russian roulette with the dude. He put one bullet in, spun it around. He did it like 3 times. He gave it to him.
Yeah, that's tempting the Lord,
Yeah.
man. That's madness.
I was saying I saw him go out doing like the hanging thing. Like you go around and doing it, that was his thing.
Yeah, that's that.
In one video, he tried to get up and he couldn't get up.
Yeah.
He fell.
A lot of these guys be falling, man. You had one guy he tempted the Lord. He said, I'm a fast longer than the Most High. I mean, longer than Yahushua. He said, Yahushua fasted. You can look this up. He said, Yahushua fasted 40 days and 40 nights. I can beat that. So he went up to the top of the mount and he died like in 6 days. Right? So the Lord cut him down, man. The Lord, you can't be tempting the Lord.
So,
Right?
Putting that in the mouth of lions and
Yeah. So that all that is, now lots is different. Casting a lot is not tempting the Lord. Let's go to Acts chapter 1. Right? Let's go to Acts 1. I believe I want 20. Come on.
So like it. And these stars on Instagram and these social medias where they be going up to random people, right, doing that folly. Man, that's tempting the Lord, man. It's a dude named Tyrone. I don't know if y'all remember Tyrone back in the day.
Yeah.
Used to smack people when they had cigarettes in their mouth.
Smack your woman in the
Yeah. Talking about I'm gonna do something to your wife.
Yeah.
Right? He got shot.
Yeah.
He got shot up in the chest, man.
Oh yeah?
Tempting the Lord.
He died?
Yeah. Nah, he ain't died.
Oh. Wow.
He gotta slow down.
Let's see. Acts 1 and
Let's start at 21.
21. Book of Acts chapter
Start
1
at 20. Start at 20.
and verse 20. For it is written in the book of Psalms, Let his habitation be desolate, and let no man dwell therein, and his bishopric, Salakia, his
You got it.
bishopric, let another take.
Right, meaning take the office of Judas Iscariot. It was prophesied in Psalm chapter 109 that Judas will be plucked out the truth and another man will take his position. Right, go on.
Verse 21. Wherefore, of these men which have companied with us all the time that the Lord Hamashiach Yahushua went in and out among us.
So they need to replace Judas Iscariot, right? So they have all of these men, because it wasn't just the 12.
Right.
Remember, you had 70 other men that went 2 by 2, and other men after that. So the next 2 men under the 12 are about to be cast to be we have the 11 apostles rather, and these next 2 men that was closest to him are about to be cast to see who's going to be the 12th apostle. Go on.
Beginning from the baptism of John.
These men, their qualifications, that they have to be from the very beginning. They have had to be here when Yahushua got baptized, from the baptism of John. You had to believe. You can't just came into this thing. You had to been here.
Right.
So these are seasoned men. They saw the miracles. They went with the Lord. They know all about it. These are the qualifications. Go on.
Unto that same day that he was taken up from us.
He had to be there from day 1 to the day that the Lord was taken up.
That's right.
No days off. Right? This is the qualifications. You got brothers that take days off.
Right.
You might have missed out on your lot to be the 12th apostle, to make it to the kingdom. That 1 day off. Go on. That's heavy.
Salakia, take up from us. Must one be ordained to be a witness with us of his resurrection?
Right?
And they appointed 2 Joseph called Barsabbas, who was surnamed Justus, and Matthias.
Now these are 2 mighty men. They didn't know they was going to get called for this. They just doing the work of the Most High. But the Lord raised them up. Right? Go on.
And they prayed and said, Thou, Lord, which knowest the hearts of all men, shew whether of these 2 thou hast chosen.
So this is a sincere, you understand? The Lord knows your hearts. This is a sincere petition to show well which one's going to be the 12. Right? So before you cast your lot, you pray to the Most High. You don't just cast the lot and say, well, look, it is what it is, man. You lick a damn cord and flip it up in the air. Catch it like this and do this. Right? The Lord isn't dealing with that, man. You're supposed to pray to the Most High that the Lord cast the perfect lot. Right? Go on.
That he may take part of this ministry and apostleship, from which Judas by transgression fell, that he might go to his own place.
Yeah, you sin against the Most High, the Lord take your office from you. Go on.
And they gave forth their lots.
They gave forth their lots, right?
And the lot fell upon Matthias, and he was numbered with the 11 apostles.
Yeah, and when you go into the lot, Salaki, there's no great detail on what they actually did. Right? Rather they had stones, there's some accounts where you see them with actual stones with different writings on it. In the Hebrew, that they were cast into a damn, like a I don't know, you ever brothers play hopscotch before, or your damn daughter, whatever, when you were a kid, and they throw the stick in there, throw the stone in there, and it land on the damn thing. Brothers know what I'm talking about, right? That's like casting a lot. You throw the stone, and whatever it land on, that's what it land on. So they cast a lot, meaning you threw it, and it landed on whatever they had. They may have had a damn one for Matthias and one for what's his name, Justice. But the Lord shifted it. Rather they threw it this way, threw it that way. It all shifted to Matthias, right? So equivalent to that is like rolling dice, right? Or when people they go to the casino and you put that nasty silver ball and that spinny thing. I don't know what it's called. What?
Roulette.
Is that roulette?
Yeah.
Con. It's in a spinny thing and they betting on black, right? That's the equivalent to casting a lot. That's as close as casting a lot to the ancient world as you can get. The damn roulette game, right? So that's pretty much what it was. But now, you know, if you don't have that, brothers, they'll flip a coin. You understand? That's you'll flip a coin. You may roll a dice, right? That's the closest you got to flipping. Casting a lot now.
God.
You know.
God. Like the brother said, before you cast a lot, you should always throw up the prayer asking the Most High to cast the perfect lot, right? That we lead not to our own understanding, right? Proverbs 16:33.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16 and verse 33. The lot is cast into the lap.
Right, so we can cast a lot, right? We can throw it anytime we want, but what?
But the whole disposing thereof is of the Lord.
Right, no matter what you do, the Lord is going to have it work out in the just way that he wants it to work out. Right, you can have a box over here that say Naquan, and you're gonna throw it that way because you want it to be Naquan, but the Lord can have a fierce wind come, that rock will flip over and land over to whoever it may land over, right?
Yep.
So the disposing of the whole lot is always of the Lord, right? And it's a precept that I wanted, where they threw up the, may the Lord get a perfect lot. I think it's in First Kings.
I mean Samuel.
Or yeah, First Samuel.
I believe it's 14. First Samuel 14 and bear with us. 41. 42. I believe that's what I want. Yeah, 41. First Samuel 14 and 41. I got it. First Samuel chapter 14 and 41. Therefore Saul said unto the Lord God of Israel, give a perfect lot. And Saul and Jonathan were taken, but the people escaped. And Saul said, cast lots between me and Jonathan my son, and Jonathan was taken. Is that what I was looking for?
Con, that's it.
Con. So you have to pray to the Most High to cast the perfect lot. Right? So everything can be done in order. All right, that was 14 and 41.
Next question at 1:19 p.m.
All these questions came in at 119. See that?
From Gad Warrior. The question reads, if Jacob is here in the last days, what tribe would he come from?
Let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra 1 and 38 to this validate Jacob being here or not. Right? 2nd Ezra 1 and 38. Now we don't know, right? How will we know what tribe Jacob is from? Right? We wouldn't know that, right? You can say more than likely Judah, right? You wouldn't, that's a safe answer. That's a safe answer, but you don't know, right? You can't, hold on, let me say this. You can't just make up stuff, right? You can't just make up stuff. I know Abraham from the tribe of Issachar, right? I feel it. So, brother, what do you mean you feel it, man? Right? Nobody cares what you feel in this thing, man. It's either, if it's in the scriptures or not, a brother can't convince me. I just feel it. I feel like he Issachar because when you think about it, he went to the... No, brother. It don't say. Right? But let's read it, 2nd Ezra 1 and 38.
That's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 1 and verse 38. And now, brother, behold, what glory, and see the people that cometh from the east,
Right?
unto whom I will give 4 leaders, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Ozias, Amos, and Micaias, Joel, Abadias, and Jonas.
Those are all Greek names for your so-called minor prophets. In the last days, these men are back on the earth. They're leaders.
Right.
They could be in this classroom. They could not be here. They could be all over the earth. They can be in damn where. They can be in Germany. They can be in Brazil. Hey, they can be anywhere. Abraham could indeed be in damn wherever, man. The Lord wanted him to be at. Right, go on.
Nahum and Habakkuk.
Yeah, that's Nahum and Habakkuk.
Sophonias.
That's Zephaniah.
Zephanias. Agias.
That's Haggai.
Zechariah.
Right, Zechariah.
Slakia, and Malachi, which is called also an angel of the Lord.
So these men are leaders back on the earth, man. Somebody's Abraham. So watch how you talking to the Lord's friend, man.
That's right.
Somebody's Jacob. You got to watch how you dealing with your brother. You might be disrespecting Jacob. This brother might be Jacob, man. Right? And we damn extorting money out of the brother. Right? Or robbing the brother. Or stole his car. Imagine going before the Most High and your charges are you stole from your forefather Jacob. You stole his Bentley in his car. Where you robbed his wallet and you was lusting after Jacob's wife. Shame on you. You'd be destroyed, man.
That's right.
Because now you dishonored your father and your mother. But you don't even know it. Right? So you got to know who you're dealing with in this thing, man. Because these men are back. You can't just say, well, that's back then. Glad I don't have to deal with them anymore. You might be dealing with them.
That's right.
Right? Even a 12. Real quick. Let me get that in, yeah, precept.
Wow, you got
Let me get the 12 real quick. And Matthew 19 and 28.
Book of Matthew, chapter 19 and verse 28.
And a lot of brothers, man, when the kingdom is established, you're going to be in for a rude awakening. Right? You're going to look at the brother Maul right there and say, hey, man, that's damn the prophet Malachi back on the earth. Wow, all praises to the Most High. I never thought it, man. Right? Damn, Jonah, that's Peter the Apostle. He's sitting on the throne. A lot of brothers are going to be hating too. What you mean? That's Peter. He was late. He showed up late last Sabbath. Peter wouldn't show up late. My God is here. Yahushua, is that really Peter? This is going to be off with your head. The Lord going to pop up behind you, slice your head off, put it back, and say, Peter, here's your crown. Right? There's going to be a dead body just on the floor. And the blood going to be splitting out like a damn Quentin Tarantino movie.
Afro samurai.
Yeah, like the damn Afro Samurai movie. Let's bring that up.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 19 and verse 28.
Right?
And Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel.
Now hold that. Go to the book of Luke 21 and 29. The Lord said that the 12 apostles are going to be judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Right now, you can say, well, those men are done away with. Well, what did the Lord say in Luke 21 and 29?
This is the book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 29. And he spake to them a parable. Behold the fig tree and all the trees.
The Lord said, look at the fig tree and all the trees.
When they now shoot forth, ye see and know of your own selves that summer is now nigh at hand.
Yeah, trees blossom and bud. You know, the weather's changing. Summer's coming around the corner. Go on.
So likewise, ye, when ye see these things come to pass, know ye that the kingdom of Yahweh is nigh at hand.
When you see the prophecies coming to pass, wars, rumors of wars, seditions, troubles, the riots in New York right now, the protests in Chicago, the bombs beginning ready to drop between China and Taiwan, race wars, seditions. When you see these things come to pass, guess what? The end is here. Go on.
Verily I say unto you,
Here's the point.
this generation shall not pass away.
Read that again.
This generation shall not pass away
Till what?
till all be fulfilled.
That generation will not pass away till everything is fulfilled. What does that mean? Isaiah. This generation will not pass away that he's talking to back then till all things be fulfilled.
Let's wondered how, like back then, how it was regenerated and we missed this one back.
You said, what's the last part?
How regenerated we came back this one.
All right, there you go. All right, there you go. All praises, man. So that's speaking about this generation now.
Right,
If that was true, that means these people from back then, they would be over 2,000 years old. They'll be walking around the earth, waiting till things are fulfilled, then they'll finally get to die. No, it's speaking about this generation now.
Right.
We're that generation. So the 12 apostles, they was there. So guess what? They're here.
Right.
Paul was there back then. He's here. Wicked men. Annas, the high priest.
Right.
Caiaphas, Herod.
Judas.
Iscariot is here. Pontius Pilate is here. Pontius Pilate might be, I don't know. Right? Joe Biden, man. Creepy Joe.
Face.
Yeah, Trump.
Yeah.
Right? All these governors, these senators, they're Roman politicians. The Caesar from the time of Yahushua, he's back here. Brothers know the Caesar was Tiberius. Right? Tiberius, he's back on earth. He might be one of the Rothschilds. He's definitely not the president. He might be too high for that. He's probably one of the elites. Right? So all these men are here back on the earth, man.
A senator or a governor.
Yeah, a senator or a governor. And the Lord said, you're going to be delivered up before governors. All those governors that was back then that they got delivered up to, you're going to get delivered up to them again.
That's right.
Right? So stop looking at these politicians and voting for them because they said something nice on the television, man. That's some creepy guy wrote for him on his scribe. Right? Come on. So the point of the matter is,
Watch your mouth.
watch your mouth, and we don't know what tribe Jacob is from. Ecclesiastes 7:24. One more on that. So stop saying Jacob is from the tribe of Benjamin, because you from the tribe of Benjamin. Right? 7:24.
Book of Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 24.
Right?
That which is far off and exceeding deep, who can find it out?
Who can find it out? As far off and exceeding deep. Right? That's like saying how heavy is the sun. Hold on, brother. Let me show you, brother. Let me get this precept. Brother, you don't know, brother. There's no precept on that, man. right? Well, brother, let me show you how what size shoe Yahweh Shai wear, right? When you go to the book of Jeremiah, brother, there's no precept on what size shoe Yahweh Shai wears. Eve, your wife asks, did Esther have braids or did she have a fro? Hold on, sister, I got you, right? Let me go to the book of Luke, because when you link up Luke and you go to that word in the Hebrew, nobody would know. How would you know if Esther had an afro or braids? It don't say, all right? You have something?
Yeah, you go on Google and stuff, they try to make up something.
Yeah, they'll make up something. They'll say she had an afro.
They're trying to say there's something like 8 billion pounds or something.
Yeah, it's 8 billion pounds, or Esther's a white woman, right?
Oh, I gotta read something.
Come.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 11 and verse 33. Oh, the depth of the riches, both of the wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh. How unsearchable are his judgments and his ways past finding out.
That's plain. Unsearchable. Right?
And there's another precept that said the secret things belong to the Most High, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, stop trying to, a lot of us want to bust our brains out to find out what our forefather was, man. It's not for you to find out, man.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? Let it be what it is.
Would you know if Jacob would he come into the earth keeping the commandments already from birth, or would he have to be reconnected with God?
Let's read Ecclesiastes 7 and 24.
Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 24. That which is far off and exceeding deep, who can find it out?
Who can find it out? Because we wouldn't know if Jacob came into this truth. Jacob could be somebody's son who came into this thing, right? Jacob could be somebody's father. There's really no telling. When it goes into the ends and depths of regeneration, only the Lord knows these things, right? So I can't say, well, Jacob, he used to be a drug dealer, right? And then Jacob, he was dealing coke, and then he came into this truth. Right? That's off, right? But you got it.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1 and verse 9. The thing that have been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun.
Right, we would have to assume that he will probably be keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Right? You died and you live out the lot from the judgment, but there's no new thing under the sun. Right? So those men of old who was prophesying are going to be the same men of new prophesying out on the highways and byways, whether it be in Australia, the UK, Baltimore, New York. Right? There's no new thing under the sun.
Yeah, he's definitely not in the he's definitely not in the world. But we don't know how he came into the truth. We don't know.
You kind of answered my question. I was gonna be like, if they were mighty back then, the disciples and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah. Let's get Revelation 10 and 11. Revelation 10 and 11. That's what the Lord told John the Baptist. Yeah, you're not going to be one of the 12 apostles, and you come back in the truth and you die a bank robber. You're a stick-up kid, right? With an old revolver. No, man, you're going to come back in this thing like John the Revelator.
Book of Revelations, chapter 10,
Verse 11.
verse 11. And he said unto me, thou must prophesy again before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings.
But John was already 90-something years old. So what does he mean he's going to prophesy again? He's going to come back on the earth and do that same prophecy, that same ministry. And he's breaking down the book of Revelation. Wherever he's at, he's breaking down what he wrote 2,000 years ago. He said, that sounds familiar, right? He going into it. Yeah, that's what I said. Now, you can't say that, though. You can't say I'm John the Revelator. Yeah, I remember that. I meant to put so-and-so. That's going off, man. Yeah, I'm Abraham. I remember the day Isaac was weaned, right? You have no recollection of these former things. So stop telling yourself that you somebody back on the earth. I know I'm the Apostle Paul. How do you know that, brother? Right? You only know what the Most High reveals to you in this life.
So like, here's a brother on Instagram. He says he's from the tribe of Judah and that he was Moses.
Yeah, that's absolute bananas, right? Because where's Moses from? From the tribe of Levi, right? So brothers got to stop playing games with the Lord, man. You got a precept? Bring it up.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither your ways are my ways, said the Lord.
There's more on that.
Verse 9. For as the heaven are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts.
See that? That's plain. That's plain. And don't be a sister talking about you're Judith. You know you Judith, right? Because you made a good meal for dinner, right? That doesn't mean you're Judith, man. Because the biscuits didn't get burnt and the unleavened bread had the good honey on it this time, right? Everybody's going to be found out who they are in the wilderness, man. So you don't have to hasten to determine your own lot. Whoever you are, if you make it between the day and day battle, the flesh and the spirit, you overcome Jacob's trouble, guess what? You're going to receive your particular lot. Right? When you read Revelation, the 2nd chapter, it says in the stone with a new name in it. You understand? So you'll receive your lot and your position in the kingdom, rather you're a man over 10 cities or rather you're least in the kingdom. Everybody's going to be given according to their works. Right? And if you're, guess what? If you're a prophet, you're going to move in the spirit of a prophet. If you're an apostle, you're going to move in the spirit of an apostle. Right? Like I said, you're not going to be John the Revelator and you damn a pickpocket on a New York City subway. Right? Or dancing on that nasty pole they do. Them, you know them guys that be dancing for the money, man. Taking their hat off so the people could put it in there, man.
The huge clappers.
Yeah.
They bring it all around the world.
You see that? Yeah, the Lord isn't dealing with that. And the guy do the backflip in front of all of the wicked people of the earth, man. And they put the corrupt money in there. And they buy liquor with it.
So like, yeah, the irony is that they do that right in front of what HOI teach.
Wow.
Right, HOI be sitting there right in front of, I forgot the business that they be at, but they be right across from them flipping.
Con. Was there any other questions in the class? Bring it out, King.
All right, so
You gotta speak up, brother.
So if Yahweh fasted for 40 days and 40 nights, then would we also be fasting on the Sabbath?
Let's go to Judith 8. Actually, let's go to 1 Corinthians 10 and 23, then Judith 8 and 6. Yahweh walked on water. Is it off to go walk on water right now? Yahweh flipped over a table and beat people up because they sinned. Can we do that? Right? So all things are lawful, but not all things are expedient.
10 and 23.
Con.
Book of 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 23. All things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient.
See, all things are lawful, but all things aren't expedient. Just because you read something that one of your forefathers did doesn't mean it's expedient to do it. Right. Nehemiah plucked out people's hair and in love. It wasn't out of hatred. He did it in love. He beat people down. Can we do that now? We're in the highways and byways. Everybody put on their boxing gloves. And we go to the work on the scoffer. The one put him in a headlock and a full Nelson. You put him in a full Nelson and then got his rib cage open and your shark going to the body.
A full Thewan.
Yeah, actually a half Nelson. Got him in a damn half Nelson, man. Yeah, a half Nelson. That's evil, man. Some of our forefathers did it. Now, Yahweh Shah, it's not a sin to do it because we know he's a lamb without spot or without blemish. But let's show you Judith chapter 8 and 6. Judith, the 8th chapter and the 6th verse to show you the spirit of how you're supposed to deal with the Sabbath day. Right? And all these things are written for your learning.
Book of Judith chapter
8 and 6.
8 and verse 6.
Right?
And she fasted all the days of her widowhood.
Now, she was blameless. She fasted all the days of her widowhood.
Save the eves of the Sabbath.
She didn't fast on the day before the Sabbath. Why wouldn't you fast on the day before the Sabbath, chiefly?
And
hold on. That's the question. Why wouldn't you fast on the eve of the Sabbath?
Because that's the day you gotta get yourself prepared.
You got to get yourself prepared. You're going to be doing a lot of business, maybe some transactions, some work. So you want to dedicate that time to the Most High. So why do it? Right? Go on.
That's right.
So she didn't fast on the eve of the Sabbath. So it's not always expedient to do that, depending on your schedule.
And the Sabbath.
Why? And she didn't fast on the Sabbath day. Why didn't she fast on the Sabbath day?
Yes, it's a day of rest.
First of all, it's a holy convocation.
Right.
So you're going to be around brothers and sisters.
Right.
Right? Second of all, more than likely they're going to be eating, drinking, and then it's going to come to light that you're fasting. And it should be done in secret because why are you eating and drinking? You know what I'm doing? Oh, no, I'm going to do so. More than likely they're going to see it in your spirit that you're fasting. And your fasting should be done in secret. Right? And that day is dedicated to the Most High. Right? But once a day of ceasing from your labor and from work. Right? Go on.
And the eves of the new moon.
She didn't fast on the eve of the new moon with the same wisdom of not fasting on the eve of the Sabbath. Go on.
And new moon and Salakia and the new moons and the feast.
So Salakia. So on the new moons or the feast.
And solemn days of the house of Israel.
See that? So even on the new moons you don't fast. Why don't you fast on the new moon? Because it's a feast day. Brothers are going to be eating, drinking, being merry. You sitting there with your stomach growling, talking about I'm hungry. Brothers ask why, you say don't worry about it. Right? Brothers are going to know you fasting. Show up to the new moon like brothers was on the Feast of Dedication, covered in ashes. Nah, I ain't doing nothing. I'm cool. I'm all right. Come on, brother. What do you mean you're all right, man? Right? I ain't doing nothing. Don't worry about me, little old me. And then your ashes falling all over the place. So you don't fast on certain days based off of the circumstances. Like you would never fast on the Passover.
Right.
That's evil. Right? You can't I'll say this. Yeah, the new moons, feast weeks, you understand? Certain events. There's a time for everything under the sun.
That's
But
right.
you and your wisdom and discretion, you have to know when it's appropriate to fast, when it's not to fast. One more real quick. Luke 5 and 32. Dealing with fasting. Luke 5, even Yahushua told his apostles not to fast while he was with them. Because it wasn't appropriate at the time. It wasn't the right occasion. Right? And he's going to compare it to events that man deals with all the time.
Book of Luke, chapter 5 and verse 32.
Right?
I came not to call the righteous, but sinners to repentance.
Right, go on.
And they said unto him, why do the disciples of John fast often and make prayers? And likewise the disciples of the Pharisees, but thine eat and drink.
Right.
And he said unto them, can ye make the children of the bride chamber fast, while the bridegroom is with them?
Yeah, that's off, man. Right? You're making the children fast during a wedding. Right? And people have to fast during the wedding. That's off, man. That's like King Saul. He told the people to not eat or drink till I'm avenged of my enemies. And that same chapter we read in 1 Samuel 14. That's not expedient. You starving out everybody till you get avenged of your enemies. And what happened? The people ended up eating what? Brothers, remember? Honey. No. Well, Jonathan ate the honey, but the people, they spoiled upon the beast and ate food with blood in it. You understand? That's what happened. So that's what Saul did, made the people naked. And his pride. Right? Go on. He said, can you make the children read that again?
And he said unto them, can ye make the children of the bride chamber fast while the bridegroom is with them?
Right.
But the days will come.
The days will come, which are the days you're living in now, and the days after Yahushua's resurrection,
when the bridegroom shall be taken away from them.
Right.
And then shall they fast in those days.
What the Lord say?
And then shall they fast in those days.
If you one of the disciples, you'll be fasting in these days.
That's right.
Because the Lord prophesied about the works that you would do. He said, my men, they're going to be fasting in the days that I'm not here.
That's right.
So these Christians, they don't fast. How could they be the disciples of the Lord? Never heard of fasting in a Christian church. I knew Muslims did it, right? My so-called uncle was a Muslim, and he'd walk around disfiguring his face, right? And they only fast from sun up to sundown.
Right.
I never heard in Christendom and the Catholicism about fasting.
Daniel's fast.
Yeah, the Daniel fast, right? That's what people call it, the vegetable fast. You eat bread and dainties, but no water. Hey, brother. Now, we're not saying you can't fast for certain things, but a true fast is no food and no water.
That's right.
For 24 hours. Now, you can do other things to benefit yourself, but to be justified in the eyes of the Lord, you have one set standard fast, which is based off of the Day of Atonement. Right? But with that, Kwam Yashala. We're going to proceed, take a quick intermission, then we're going to head to camp and do the work of the Most High. Kwam Yashala. Shalom.